Good evening, and welcome to The Table on Air, your primary source for learning about what's new, what's happening, and what's what in Black LGBTQ culture. For those that don't know, I'm your host, Darius Caffey, and I thank you for showing up to this space. We're about to get real, a little deep, and maybe a little teary, but we're going to have some fun, so stick around for the ride. Our special guest today comes with some background in theater and performance, but for now, here's the latest and greatest in this week's Black Report. Now, family, why didn't none of y'all tell me that I messed up last week? How did y'all let me forget to say Happy Pride during our first episode of Pride Month? That's crazy. Almost had me slip up on this LGBTQ plus platform and forget to tell my family Happy Holiday. Y'all ain't right, but I forgive you. Because that's what family's for. Forgiveness, love, celebration, and a little tussle, because I know how the girls like to get. But yes, you heard me right, this month is a holiday not just for me and not just for you, but for everybody. This month is a holiday for all of those who we can't forget and whose names we'll forever say. From those who are looking for their voice, to those who are elevating others, and those who have left theirs behind in forms of languages, tools, and resources, we can't forget them. So when I say Happy Pride, I'm actively celebrating our community for all that we've been through. I'm actively loving our people for all that they are and all that they aren't. And I'm actively choosing to forgive those who don't know how to love us because we now know how to love ourselves. So when I say Happy Pride, I'm saying to my Black, queer, trans, and non-binary family, I love you. And I'm always here to root for you because to me, that's what pride is. Supporting the things and the people that you believe in. And that's exactly what we're starting to see more of, especially from leaders like Hobbs, who was part of the group of youth who worked to organize a monumental trans prom on May 22nd right in front of the U.S. Capitol building. If that's not a prime example of believing in yourself and the things that you stand for, I don't know what is. I commend the 100+ trans youth and adults for their continued efforts to show up as their full selves and join the fight towards justice. I'm grateful to witness these young people advocating for themselves because everybody doesn't always have it in them, but they do. And that right there is Pride history. That's a wrap on our Black Report with a QUE. And until next week, keep finding ways to celebrate yourself. Joining us as a guest today, we have music artist, performer, creator, and actor in the Black ensemble theater play, The Real Housewives of Motown, Nick Henderson. Welcome to the table.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, for joining us here on our space, on our platform, and giving the people more insight into who you are and all the creative things that you're doing, because I've been able to see them, so I want everybody else to see them.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad for us to spend some time today to really just get into the nitty-gritty, you know?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
No problem.
It's going to be a time.
It is going to be a time, because we like to have a time on the table, okay?
I love that. Time on the table.
That's my first time saying it.
Put it on a shirt.
Time on the table. You're
there
right.
There we go. Put it on a cup. There we go.
Let me write that down. I ain't got no pen, but
I won't even charge you for it.
See, we need more people like you around. I'm gonna stop playing. I'm gonna get into it. But we really are grateful to have you here. So I'm gonna jump right into the questions.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm excited to learn a lot more about your journey, and I'm sure the people are excited to learn more about it as well. So
let's do it.
Thinking about where you are now, like I said, you've been able to do a lot. You have a lot of experience, a lot of credentials behind your background, the fields and spaces that you've been able to work in. But what was that like, building up to that moment? What was that spark in you that led you to this creative, artistic journey that you're on now?
Yeah, it's really just amazing to spend some time in like retrospection and really think about like your journey, and for me personally, I've been doing this since I was like 5. So it feels so much like a part of who I am that I don't think about all of the, just in between. So when I spend time going back, it's like, wow, I was like 5 years old, like performing in front of like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And that was like a moment that I didn't know at that time that it was, defining who I was, destined to be and just destined to pursue. And that was like, and specifically like I grew up in a church. I feel like everybody got that story.
How did you get there at 5 years old?
Yeah, I feel like everyone has this story. Yeah. Like, oh, I grew up in the church, and then I had my first solo.
Yep.
But so yeah, I grew up in church, and an older cousin of mine, Ruby, love you, Ruby. She was just always like really encouraging, and she was just one of those type of people who saw something, and she did her best to like, nurture that and pull that out. So
it's important to have those people to
for
see
sure.
the different things in you that you don't see at that moment.
For sure.
That can bring it out.
And I would not be where I am today without her. But yeah, it was some type of like convocation of some sort. For those who don't know what that is, it's basically just a big old gathering where church folks get together and they do their thing. And yeah, it was like about 1,000 people. And there was a portion where they wanted to do like some like creative, like hip hop oriented.
And they tapped you.
Yes.
At 5 years old.
5 years old. And it was like, it was like a ensemble of people. Yeah. But when you 5 years old, everybody's like, oh, I wasn't probably doing much. But like that was a moment for me that really kind of shaped the trajectory of just like where I am today. So it's a really just beautiful thing to just like remember, but like, dang, like, no, this is something that like that chose me, but then I also chose it from before I even knew who I was.
I'm glad that you said that, because that's something that I've been feeling, but I haven't been able to find the words to say it. It's something that has chosen me, and it's all about how you continue to lean into it, but also learn what that means for you.
Yeah. And what I think is like most important when you're navigating through the many stages of life, and not even just as a creative, but when you're navigating through just who you want to be as far as like your interests, your passions, your career, it all starts from somewhere. And I think that like those like defining moments and defining years in my life, had it not been present in my life, I really don't know what I would be doing, or I don't know if I would be as confident and comfortable in my skin. So yeah, it goes without saying that like, having those people around you and, just surrounding you, like they play a huge part in just kind of shaping and molding you. And I'm just really grateful that, like I said, my cousin Ruby, but then also I had other people around me who, once they saw that, it was like, okay, this seems like something that he really like enjoys, and we see like potential there. They, just encouraged me and affirmed me through it. So it's been a great journey. I feel like there's a lot that I can speak to, but yeah.
I mean, starting at 5 years old, like you definitely have, in my opinion, where you are now, have had that time, that practice, that 10,000 hours that they talking about to help you get to that next stage and that next level. And I see you doing those things and leveling up, and I'm proud of you for doing that. Because it really does take a lot of confidence, like we talked about earlier, but also a lot of effort, a lot of, self-love, a lot of energy that goes into it. That you have to learn, how to develop and then how to adjust to the different nuances of life. Sure. It's crazy to see yourself now, I'm sure, compared to that first moment that sparked you. But what is leaning into that felt like, as an adult now, and seeing the inspiration and seeing where that has taken you?
It's so funny because I very seldomly take time to assess like the growth and to look at like, I didn't just start at, point, let's say M, if we're looking at the alphabet. I feel like everybody, wants to get to Z. And, you don't really take time to think through like, wow, like I spent a lot of time developing, nurturing, and fostering, myself and my gifts to get through A, B, C, D, and all the way through. So, it's been really rewarding, and I thank God for like, hello. I thank God that like, I've had resources like therapy, and I've had resources like life coaches, friends, where they help to ground me and, they take me out of me thinking about like what I haven't done, and they bring me back to like, Nick, you have done so much, and you have accumulated so much within yourself that like it's imperative for you to take that time to look at like, listen, you have blazed a trail for yourself that like you should be proud of. Yep. And I think that I struggle sometimes to center those thoughts and just kind of find myself at peace, because sometimes we feel like we're in this like rat race.
Yeah. It's a constant cycle.
Yes.
Of trying to do things and learning new things and reflecting on things.
Yes.
And it keeps going.
Yes. And I just very transparently, I am a victim of like having really awesome moments in my life where I may accomplish something that's like like the next step for me, and then I'm already on to the next thing, and
That's me too.
I'm like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
I don't spend time like, wow, I did that.
Yeah, celebrating yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
So
I'm glad that you're here today so that we can do more of that together.
I'm trying.
We both struggle to do it.
Listen, help you.
Yes, please. Well, I'm here today to celebrate you and all the greatness that you continue to exude and that you will continue to be doing, and all the things that you've already done. Because we are here today to sit and reflect in that and see the progress. I think that's what you were, alluding to, is that those group of people helped you see yourself.
Yeah.
For not just the better, but for who you really, truly, holistically are.
Yeah. And I love that, like, there are always people around us who they see the things in us that we have yet to see in ourselves. Mm-hmm. And those people, I mean, there aren't enough flowers on this earth to bestow upon them. But
no big enough garden.
No, seriously. And, I think that, and I think the overall thing that I'm trying to relay is like, nobody is who they are without their community, without the love, the support. And I will always go back to that because, we spend so much time in ourselves that we don't really evaluate what's going on around us. So we need those people in our lives to, bring us back. And as I was saying, just a second ago, to bring us back to our center of just like, listen, I know you already in Hollywood and, millions of dollars,
10,
but
15
like,
years ahead.
Right, but right now you are somewhere that's so beautiful and that is equally important as far as your journey. So I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to just take in every moment and just be grateful. Like that is something I definitely practice, is just gratitude. And what that looks like for me, sometimes I just be like, wow, just thank you. Like I'm not even specifically like thinking of anything. Sometimes I just like have to have in my heart and in my mind, just like, I'm grateful. Like, thank you, because things can always be different. They can always be worse. And right now I'm in a good spot.
Yeah. And even, I would say, even for me, I try to be grateful for the bad moments, or what we consider the bad moments, and using it as a learning opportunity to either figure out more things about myself, about the world, about the people around me, and figure out how to use that to fuel the other things that I'm doing and help support where I'm currently at in my life.
I'm Mughal Baghdad, host of the podcast 3 Questions With. This week we speak to Alderman Nicole Lee, 11th Ward.
I think it's incumbent upon us to be engaged and to speak for ourselves. When it comes to where resources are spent or how they're allocated, we need a voice that's representative of our community to be looking out for our interests too.
Join us this Wednesday at 7:30 in the evening via Channel 19, streaming on cantv.org and the Can TV Plus app.
So, talking about where we currently are in our lives, you, Mr. Big Shot, are Mr. Big Shot, since we're talking about celebrating ourselves, are now acting in the play The Real Housewives of Motown. How has that experience been for you as Mr. Levi Stubbs, close, two B's. Levi Stubbs, and leaning more into that community and figuring out, what this creative outlet looks like for me now, and how can I use that, to support what I want to do in the future? Yeah,
so I'm in this production, Real Housewives of Motown, with the Black Ensemble Theater, which is a really renowned theater here in Chicago, not only just for what impact it's had over the 20 plus years it's been, operating, but specifically telling Black stories. And this particular production like pulls the curtains back on the stories of these powerful women who supported their husbands to get to the point where they are now. We all know who Smokey Robinson is. We all know who the Temptations is. And
you told those stories.
Yes. And, we are not only, of course, giving folks what they love, which is that, that Motown era. You hear all your favorite songs, but we are really diving into the reality and the truth of the hardship of, being a helpmeet to these men who, at the end of the day, it's like their only option in life is to do what they're doing. Yeah. And when I say only option, meaning like the only thing that's going to bring fulfillment and bring joy is for them to, use their gifts and to, just embody, who they've been, just always aware of that they wanted to be. And it's been beautiful playing Levi Stubbs, who is the who was the lead singer of the Four Tops, and they have a ton of songs that I didn't realize was like the Four Tops, like Sugar Pie Honey Bunch, Baby I Need Your Lovin', a ton of other songs where you're like, oh wow, I didn't know, like I know this song, but I didn't know that this is who this was.
Or
so
who was it connected to?
Exactly. Yeah. So I had a lot of fun like preparing for this role. For that, because I love music, but then also too diving into the person of who Levi Stubbs was. I mean, anybody that like has spoken of him have always said like he was such a stand-up guy, super compassionate, just outgoing and just fun. Yeah. And I was just like, I love that because I like to think that's me.
I was gonna ask, do you feel like that relates to your character and like, which the energy that you try to put out into the world?
For sure. Like I think that unknowingly, sometimes I just kind of lead with just this very like open, compassionate energy that like it's just very organic. And when people are kind of like doing things to like get certain results, or they're trying to be nice because they want something, but like genuinely, like that is just something that I feel like I've always carried. And my family, they always tell stories of like how I was a kid and just always compassionate.
They saw it in you.
Yeah. So it's been really great being able to bring that to this role because, yes, like I get to allow Nick to be a part of this, but it also allows me to experience it through the lens of someone else in a completely different era, up against, crazy circumstances. And like, those of you who get to come see the play, please see the play. Yeah. You'll see that like they were going through it. Like, on stage they were these, magnets, just magnetic. But then behind the scenes, like literally quite behind the scenes, like there would be like race riots. Like they couldn't even show up to their concert without like fearing for their lives.
All the stuff people don't see.
For sure. Yeah. But then still to hear that Levi Stubbs was this, compassionate, empathetic, loving, outgoing, respectful man who was, faithful to his wife, faithful to his kids. I was just like, wow, that's everything that like not only I desire to be, but those are all the things that I try my best to lead with now. Yeah. So it's been a really great journey. We're running through July 9th. So the shows have been rigorous.
That's beautiful.
Literally have a show later today. And I'm just like, I hope I'm ready.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah, and it's been something that I needed to do. I didn't really quite pursue this opportunity. It kind of found me, literally just popped up, and I was just like,
something choosing you.
Yes. Yeah. And tie that back into what we were saying, like sometimes you will know when you are meant to do certain things because it just finds you, and it just makes sense. Everything doesn't have to be this deep, esoteric, like, I'm gonna meditate on it. This is something.
Manifest this, like sometimes it just happens.
No.
You go with it, you
Just
figure
go
out
for
if
it.
you like it or not,
Yes.
and see where it takes you.
And I was nervous. I was like anxious. Like I went through the whole process of like auditions, callbacks, like rehearsals, all the things. I did it, and with all of the experience, this is not my first rodeo, but still it felt new, it felt fresh because I don't take any opportunity for granted. And I treat everything that I do as if like, hey, if this is the moment that, you know, changes my life, I want to be able to say that I gave this my all, and I invested and I poured everything that I have into this. So I think that's where the nerves come from, because it is it is like this unknown, like, that you're kind of wrestling with, where you're like, I don't know where this is going to take me, but I know that this feels right. So it's been great kind of navigating through that and just seeing it all just play out.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I'm glad that you are able to get that experience and be able to continue to cultivate who you are as an artist and creative, and then translate that, you know, into your work and into your talent, and everybody else is able to see that as well.
Yeah.
I know my mom, my grandma, and my uncle had went to go see the play, and they were, like you said, they felt that it was very relatable to, you know, what they experienced and the stories that they had, you know, known about for years and had even, you know, been a part of in their own different capacity. So I'm glad to hear that not only has it been a good experience for you all on the back end, you know, planning, prepping, practicing, rehearsing, all of that, but that it also translates to other people, and that they feel that warmness and that they feel those genuine stories are being told. I think that makes a huge difference to, you know, the testament to the work that you all are doing and how you're able to convey that to people. It's very different, I'm sure, for people on the other end of things to kind of see, but to lean into that character role, like, I can't imagine how that is, but to be able to do it well, it's like, wow, y'all are really doing something.
Yeah,
right there.
it's challenging, and like Levi Stubbs is this renowned like vocalist to many folks.
I'm gonna get there next.
And it took me time to, like, you know, process, like, just because he wasn't a part of my era does not mean that he wasn't this monumental, significant figure to some. So I had to really take in his influence, and in doing that I realized, like, okay, what made him unique? And then through that, having to really try my best to embody that. And Mr. Levi Stubbs has this like raspy, very like robust like sound that, like, me naturally as Nick the singer, you know, I try to do my oohs and ahs real cute. You know, I like to add a little butter to a little sauce, and I get out the way. But it's been really just stretching. It's been a stretching experience for me, because like I'm realizing, like, Nick, you are not just this one-dimensional singer. I know you have in your mind what you think people want to hear, or I know you have in your mind what you think sounds good, but with this role, it's really just showed me, like, Nick, whatever you desire to do, you can do it. And even if it requires like actual like physical adjustments, like, you know, when I perform every night, like, I'm not singing like Nick. I'm literally singing like Levi Stubbs, who sings like this, and it's really like and it's weird sometimes because I just, like, first of all, sometimes it just feels weird. I'm like,
it's not me.
It's not me, but
it's not you.
It's not me. And I took on this role because I am here to tell someone else's story. And you know, that's one thing that in this realm of like art, you have to be so willing to just like let go of everything that you know about yourself. Like, Nick may respond to X, Y, and Z like this, but how would Levi Stubbs respond to X, Y, and Z? And it's been great. And I think it's just been overall great practice for just how to deal with, you know, the evolving, I would say, just journey where I don't know what I'll do next, and I don't know what it'll require, but I do feel like this is allowing me to acquire, you know, those just necessary tools to just be able to like be limber and flexible for whatever my career and whatever God, you know, wants to do.
Yeah, and look, keep collecting the tools, keep learning, keep growing.
Yeah,
'cause that's truly going to continue to propel you and what you're doing, and shape, you know, who you are and who you see yourself as and who you want to continue to be. Is all going to help you get there. Thank you, Nick, for being here with me, sharing space, sharing your journey, being vulnerable, and really, you know, talking to who you are as a person. I think that's what we all need to hear. It's just us talking honestly about who we are as people. So thank you for sharing your younger journey, your older journey, and the journeys in between. Like, it really is beautiful, and I'm grateful to be able to be here with you. So thank you again for joining us here on the table, and joining our community. Like, that's just really what this was about, was being able to bring more people into our community. And now for Open Space, an opportunity for us to let go and be free and just live. Stick around for the vibes. So, Nick, we have a game for you. It's called This or That. It's really simple.
Okay.
It's really you just picking between two different options.
That could be simple.
But it's going to help us get to know you a little bit better,
Okay.
you know? So, first one, writing or performing?
Performing.
Really?
Absolutely.
Is writing hard?
Writing,
Tedious?
I overthink everything.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But performing is just like,
Comes natural.
yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Love that, love that. TV shows or movies?
Ooh, TV shows.
What's your favorite?
This Is Us.
Yep.
Speaking of writing,
I'm there. I'm actually almost done with the season, so yeah, amazing show.
I don't need to say anymore. Next.
You don't. Okay. I don't know why I wrote this. Newspaper or social media? I think I'm aging myself with this one.
Oh yes, my cup of coffee and my newspaper. Social media.
All right. You know, for some people,
Hey.
yeah,
We don't judge.
they still throw them at our doors.
Absolutely.
So somebody's reading
Yeah.
them. I don't know why, but somebody's reading them. The city or suburbs?
The city.
Really?
Yeah. Even though I grew up in the suburbs,
Yeah.
that's why I'm choosing the city.
Yeah, same. Spent too much time out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about time for a
I
change.
need a little hustle and bustle.
Yeah. More vibrant areas.
Very much so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Nightclub or day party?
Ooh. Dang. I feel like I'm transitioning out of my nightclub phase
Yeah.
into a day party, you know, because I love a good oons, boots, and cats.
Yep.
But I also love a good, like,
Going
I
home
teed
at a
up
good
and it's
bedtime.
8 o'clock. I still get to chill. So let's just say tentatively day party.
Okay.
But if you see me in the club tonight, mind your business.
I ain't gonna say nothing. You ain't gotta worry about me. All right, last one. Braids or twist?
Oh, braids.
Okay,
Braids.
come on, fresh look.
Braids.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
got the hairdo out.
Braids.
Let's get into that.
Yeah.
I love this design. Who's
Shout out
your
to my
hair
girl
brother?
Dree. Yep.
Shout out to the girl Dree.
Restyles. Yep.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, love that. Okay, that was fun.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I ain't gonna overwhelm you. I
told you overthink everything.
I know.
Newspaper.
Stop. But no, that was really fun, and I'm really, again, glad to be able to get to know you a little bit more and
Yeah.
to be able to share this light with the rest of our community and hopefully translate some of this energy to them,
Yes.
because I feel like that's what we need in this moment.
Very much so.
You know, we're still in Pride Month, so we're here to celebrate ourselves
Yes.
for all the greatness that we have and continue to turn up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
This is an honor.
Yeah, no problem. It is an honor for you to be here and for me to be here.
Yes.
So thank you again. We're making history with this. I'm going to keep saying that because that's what we're doing.
I mean, that's exactly what it's giving.
It is.
It's giving historic. It's giving monumental.
I ain't going to say it no more. So, but yeah, thank you again. That's about it. I'm going to just leave it there because the people got it. They got the message, and
Absolutely.
we're going to leave them with that. So again, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for sharing space with both me and Nick. And you already know, we'll be back next time with more people being represented here at the table. Peace.